Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Matthew Bresky from the Intuitive Mind Solutions podcast, and I'm here with my co-host, Tamara Haller. And we have a couple new guests on our show today, and we're kind of changing it up from previous shows that we've had. Normally in the past, we've been interviewing a lot of chiropractors and other medical professionals that offer programs helping people around the world. They have a lot of online programs, and I'm friends with these two young ladies from when I lived in the Quad Cities as well. And I saw on their feeds that they have quite a cool thing going on. And I thought it would be a good idea to give them some support. And we want to show the rest of the listeners here what they're up to in the Quad Cities, and what eventually could help a lot of people in many other cities, maybe even around the world, and could inspire what they're calling the sober revolution. And I think it's a real cool concept. And what they have is we have Amber Haines and we have Seanteelle Smith. Okay. And what they are doing right now, they've created a platform called Unimpaired, correct?
That's correct.
And it's basically a sober bar and a sober place for people to experience everything a bar has to offer minus alcohol. And first off, I want you to you can introduce yourselves and tell everybody about kind of who you are a little bit, what it is exactly that you guys are doing, and why you're doing it. And we'll give you the floor to tell everybody about it. Okay?
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
All right. My name is Amber Haines, and I am the founder of Unimpaired. Seanteelle is my best friend.
Hi, guys. Operations director.
Hello.
And we're both sober. I'm 4 years sober. Seanteelle?
9 years.
Wow.
9 years sober.
Wow.
So we still like to go out to the bars. Dancing is one of our favorite things. Live music, acoustic acts. We love it. So we still love going to the bars. Even though we don't drink, we still enjoy the atmosphere. We want to get out and socialize. So I think what we have created is an environment. So what we're trying to prove is that a bar just isn't about alcohol. It's about socializing. So I'm not sure if everyone knows this, but I own an actual bar in Bluegrass, Iowa. It's called Main Street Pub and Grub. I bartended there for 10 years. That's when I realized I struggled with alcoholism. The next day after a long night of working isn't the easiest. No. I think that a lot of people in the industry, realize that. But what we thought, why couldn't we just have a place where we can go dance? We can listen to music. We can play the jukebox. We can
play pool, play darts,
karaoke. I'm
trivia.
I'm an awful
classes.
Where essentially you can do everything you can do at a bar without the centerpiece being alcohol.
Right.
Without that being the social glue that ties it all together.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're here to socialize with each other and remember those conversations the next morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is fun. That's the grand idea behind Unimpaired. So we have created that here in Davenport, Iowa, downtown Davenport. We have our second location going in Iowa City. We should be ready to rock August 1st there, which is super, super exciting. Our drinks, we have drinks that taste exactly like their alcoholic counterparts.
Mocktails.
Yeah. If you want a Jack and Coke, we can make you a Jackless Coke. I mean, it is spot on. There's a company named Lyre's out of Australia, and they are the ones who make a lot of the non-alcoholic
distilled spirits, and they are delicious. We use them. They're, some of them are in our premier mixed cocktails here. They're delicious.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had that ability.
It's pretty cool. As far as NA beer, a lot of NA beer still has alcohol in it. Usually, the
under 0.01%.
So we try to stick with 0.0 beer. Budweiser just came out with a new one. There's one called Hairless Dog. Isn't that hilarious?
And they have different brands. We carry 4 of their different beers.
So
okay.
It's just pretty neat. We also make our own cocktails. Ones that are full with antioxidants. We have Lotus energy drinks. It's natural plant-based energy. So they're all good for you. It's not a bunch of fruity drinks, and you don't have to have a drink that tastes like an alcoholic drink. If some people who are in recovery, that could be a trigger for them. And
Yeah.
we would never want to be a part of that. All we want to do is create a space where people can come to alcohol free, regardless of their choice why they're not drinking. They might have to work early, maybe they're pregnant, or maybe they're on medication that they can't drink. Or maybe they're like us and we really can't do it.
Or they just don't want it in their, they don't want it in their face the entire time, you know?
Yeah. And I think, some people, the word addict gets a bad rap too, because some people just have a problem with it, and they almost don't know how to stop. And so they can never go socialize, because if they're around it and they just take one drink, those people have a chemical change that happens, and then they turn into a different person later on, and then they time travel and do some stupid shit, and that's unfortunate that they never would have an opportunity to go socialize in this type of way because of it.
Right.
No, I'm an example of that. They call it an allergic reaction in Alcoholics Anonymous. That's what they call it. That's the program that helped me get sober. Mm-hmm. So that's, essentially people that actually have that inability to stop or control their drinking, it's a serious thing. It's not like they're just, you know what I mean? People want to think that it's just all alcoholics are bad people, and it's really not. It's just that when they take alcohol, something different happens with them. Alcohol reacts to them differently than it does a normal person.
Yeah, I was a bartender for about 11 years, and a bunch of different places. Speaking of live music, I don't know if you know the Redstone Room.
Yeah.
I was there when it started.
Oh, that's awesome.
So maybe that's where we initially met.
Yeah. I don't think it's open anymore. I think it's just the River Music Experience that's open.
It's just a museum, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, and why else? Any other whys that you guys decided that this was going to be the future?
Okay, so when the idea sort of came about, Seanteelle was bartending at my bar in Bluegrass, and we were there every day. And my brother struggles with alcoholism. And I told Seanteelle one day, I said, I think I'm going to have to take all of the alcohol off the shelves in this bar. I said, because I love my brother more than I love this bar, and he struggles. He's 24 years old. We live in a small town of Bluegrass, Iowa.
Yeah.
Nothing to do but go to my bar. So you go there, and I've seen it so many times where we'll have a customer come in that's not drinking. He's going to have dinner. He says, no, I don't need one when someone offers. But then by the end of the night, he's drunk because people are pushing it on you.
Yeah.
Have one before you go. And that's what we really,
it's uncomfortable for the people like that maybe for whatever reason want to not have it that night. It's just not acceptable to not drink in a social environment. It really isn't.
Yeah.
I always when I would go out, I would always fake it. Like people would think I was drinking, and it'd be just tonic water and lime.
Yeah. And it's the fact that it's so normal. Seanteelle, remember when you bartended at that place and they didn't want her to turn down a drink. They wanted her to just spit it out.
Yeah, I told them that I struggled with drinking. It was a place in town here, and they said, well, can't you just spit it? I said, no, you guys don't understand. I'm not even going to fake take a shot, because I don't want anyone in this community to think that I'm doing it. It's a lifestyle choice for me. I don't even want patrons to see that and assume that I would be drinking, because I take it seriously.
Yeah, to have to pretend
that's ridiculous
that you're drinking is just to be cool. No. What we're trying to
sales,
right? And what we're trying to do is to show that there is a life beyond alcohol. You don't have to drink to have fun. You don't have to drink to socialize. You don't have to drink to get out there. Now, is it harder? Yes. My social anxiety
through the roof.
Yeah, way worse than it was, because I used to hide and mask behind alcohol, and I could go out and talk to people and have so much fun. It is a little bit different now when I'm sober, but I just think that that's a hurdle to cross over, and I'm excited to do it. I love it. I love it.
I think that's awesome, because you're kind of doing what a lot of people in the world are struggling with right now, and that is stepping into the uncomfortable zone.
Super
and making yourself vulnerable. And Tamara, I know if you have some experience with certain aspects of this too, with your work and everything. But it's me and Tamara talk a lot about this, and sometimes we have to go through your fear and face the fear with courage,
Yes.
And then when you do that, and that's what I was thinking with your place, like, you know, all it takes is one night to go to your place and have just the baddest, funnest time ever,
Yeah.
totally sober. And the next day you wake up at 8 in the morning and you're like, wow, I feel good. What the hell? I have a Sunday I get to enjoy? I don't get to waste my whole day.
Stay away with a hangover, right?
Yeah. And so you guys are giving people that opportunity. And I think that's quite, you know, I think it's quite amazing, because I also was kind of in the same shoes as you when I was a bartender full time. So I know everything about that lifestyle and what it's like. And then the difference when you have a Sunday morning and you're wide awake at 8 in the morning, you're like, wow, I have a whole day to enjoy. That is a gift that
it is.
I think people don't understand or can appreciate until they experience it. And you guys are going to give people this cool journey. I think that's cool.
We hope to. I mean, there's a millions of things, even besides, you know, waking up without the hangover. I mean, my skin has never been better since I stopped drinking. You know, I'm just more clear-headed. My memory is better. I remember so much better. I'm skinnier. That's for sure. I'm skinnier now.
I don't go to jail.
I was drinking those calories. Yeah,
I don't go to jail.
Chanteelle got arrested on her wedding day.
I did.
Oh,
Wedding day.
True story, actually. Well, but technically it had got postponed, but it was the day that I was supposed to get married. Take the front page of the Quad City Times as well, with a little mugshot, and that's no joke. If you Google my name, it'll pop up.
Wow.
So don't put this.
Hey, but
don't
we're
put this,
living and
Don't
learning.
Google. Yeah, no.
don't do that, people. Don't do that.
Hey, Tamara, do you have any questions for him?
Well, I think even for like you, where you're a young parent, that for me was a big thing. You know, you're young, you're partying, you have a baby, and the thought of waking up with a hangover with a baby and having to take care of children, but yet you still want to be able to go out, you still want to enjoy life, you still want to party, but without the alcohol, without the hangover, with like you said, having the Sunday where you're not hungover. Or, you know, trying to deal with kids with a hangover. Oh,
Never.
no, but you still want the social.
Yeah.
Right. My daughter's first Christmas, I was so hungover. I remember in the middle of her opening up her presents that I got up and went to the bathroom because I didn't feel good. I was sick, but it didn't dawn on me at that moment that it was like, this isn't right because of the way I was raised around alcohol. It was like, oh, it's a morning, you know, it's just a morning.
Yeah.
Through it. But now that I think back about it, I'm mortified.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And my daughter, she doesn't care at 6 a.m. if I was hungover. She still wants to get up, still wants to have fun, and it's not fair. We are better parents sober. We just work 100% on.
My kid, because thank God, and not that Gracie was young, she probably did, but Ruby's never had to see her mom drunk, thank God, because it was a mess. And so that's one of the things that I'm the most grateful for in the entire world, because I hope that she never has to.
We want to be the best positive influences that we can for our daughters. We want them to look at us and want to be independent, strong women like us. And if alcoholism, you know, was going to hold us back with our lives, we were able to cross that hurdle and make it past there. And it's not easy every single day. It's not easy.
No, we don't have the best of support systems. And if you know, when you come from a broken family, it's kind of just the norm. You know what I'm saying? You have these family of origin issues where it's just socially acceptable as well. And so breaking all those molds and, you know, coming out on the other side.
My family
that goes back to what you were saying before too, with you know, people offering you a drink. I think that people feel uncomfortable if you're not drinking and they are.
Yeah,
and so if
company
guilty, they're like, wait a minute, that person can choose to not drink and be in a social situation, and I can't, and then they start to question their character, right?
Yeah.
Right. So if you take the alcohol out of the situation, there again, you can socialize, you can hang out without taking that, without that pressure, or without that judgment, or without that self-judgment of, wait, they need to be where I'm at.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think it's really, I admire you too for being very vulnerable and sharing your stories, because it's not easy for people to talk about that. And, you know, having something, you know, every time we go on these shows, what we do is we I'll give suggestions, or my co-host will give suggestions on other ideas from outside in. And so you guys just kind of sparked an idea for me, what would be beneficial for you guys. And maybe you guys already do this, but really be there. You can kind of have it on the side, work with a support staff, a supporting structure that will help the people be able to open up again and learn how to be social again. Because what it is to me is like when you go from, and I noticed this from myself, and you go from being a drinker, highly extroverted, and then you become a non-drinker and you become highly introverted. And that's a super shock to your system, because you do get that social anxiety. You do get that, oh my God, how many different things could I say wrong here in your head? And when you had the alcohol damping that system down, then you had no filter.
Absolutely. But then I would say things that I would always
Next day, you go through your phone and you're like, oh boy, that was interesting.
But then if you guys could offer like a supporting system for people going through that, and give you an opportunity to kind of co-work alongside, Alcoholics Anonymous, but even
that's a wonderful idea.
But even another organization that will help with social anxiety, and then you just say, hey, we're going to have, I think you should do maybe an improv night.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And then you can get people on stage in front of everybody, making fun of themselves in a way,
breaking the ice,
in order to break the ice, to get the uncomfortable comfortable.
That's a wonderful idea. And we would love that. That's actually been in our thoughts. So, our grand plan is to have these all over the United States. And it would also be wonderful to have a sober house around them, all over the United States as well. So we could maybe do some donations for it. It would be super cool.
So then I might be more in contact with you, because I might be interested to invest in supporting something like that.
Nice. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. It's really important, especially with younger people. Alcohol, why is it so normal?
Yeah.
It's like an everyday thing. The fact that we don't drink, some people think is, weird. What I think is weird is packing a cooler to go to your son's little league game or what have you.
Party.
You know what I mean?
There's a keg at a kid's 5-year-old birthday party. Like, why?
That's
this
weird.
Is not an excuse for you all to get intoxicated.
But this is years and years of cultural conditioning, and it's but the thing is, as we can go into a lot of things, I'm not sober. I still drink alcohol at events and stuff like that. Yeah. So I'll admit that. And, but the thing is, try not to judge at the moment, because right now it's just a habitual thing. And in the beginning, when you start going against the grain, it's uncomfortable, and you feel alone. But then the more and more people see that how you are, and they see, okay, look at her skin. Oh, I'm sober. That's how it works. And, they start noticing little things, and then it starts getting into more like a spreading fire.
Yeah.
You guys are right at that beginning point, I think. I feel like it's going to be a big movement that's going to go forward.
We're so excited. Do you want me? I can tell you a little bit about our Iowa City location. We're so excited about that.
Well, first, I want to tell you what you have. I want to ask you, what do you have to do in the next weekend for this Iowa City venue? Don't you have to do some television show?
Oh, yes. Okay. So it is called Shine on Quad Cities, which I'm very, very excited about. It is basically like Dancing with the Stars.
So you send us a link, and we'll put it on our thing so people in Europe and listening on our podcast can also maybe watch it.
That would be
purchase tickets on Zoom.
We can purchase tickets on Zoom. That would be absolutely amazing. So what it is Ballroom by Nick is putting on this. It's in the Eldridge Community Center, and what they're going to do is they've trained all of these different small business owners on these fancy ballroom.
Unique dances. Everyone has a unique dance.
Just like you see on Dancing with the Stars. And so we're going to do that, and we're just trying to raise money then for each of our small businesses.
Awesome. So and people can go to the link, and they can purchase viewing it. Now, is there a replay, or do they have to watch it live?
They have to watch it live on Zoom. Yep, it's $30 a ticket, and all of the money that is all of the money that they're going to raise is going to be given right back to those small businesses, those dancers that are out there shaking it for their small businesses.
And what time is it?
It's at 7 p.m. on the 27th of February.
Okay. So I'll see what we can see what European people. It's going to be late though because we're 7 hours ahead of you.
Oh wow, wow. That's ours. We'll set our alarms.
But hey, I don't know. I think you'd be a really good idea for you to contact them and say, hey, you can record the Zoom calls like we're doing now.
Yeah.
And sell it for 15.
There we go. I will get a hold of Nick today and see what he says about that. That's a good idea.
I mean, it's information or not information. It's footage that would be wasted if it's recorded. I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
Especially if somebody messes up real bad. then you get that.
From the top down with not like a bounce back up.
We get some splitting of the dress. You know, you never.
I know it goes with her.
Yeah, it's a whole. It's a lot
It's
of
like
fringe.
a flapper dress.
Every one of Amber's nightmares is coming in her head right now.
It is. I'm really putting myself out there. I'm like, we can do this.
Oh, but that's awesome because you are putting yourself out there and you are becoming vulnerable to.
Yes.
You know, to help support a cause that's worth it.
Yep. I wholeheartedly believe in the sober movement, and I think that during this pandemic, a lot of people stayed home. Alcohol sales went up. I think that coming out of this, that we need something fresh, new, somewhere for people to go. I mean, people are drinking now more than
More than
ever.
they ever have.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all.
No.
And the problem is, even in the Netherlands here, the rates of divorce is like this last year is crazy.
And
It's like people, and it's sad. And alcohol is a big part of it.
It is, unfortunately.
well, it doesn't help depressant. So
No. Have you guys had any challenges outside of the recent Budweiser challenge that Seanteelle was telling me about?
Budweiser.
oh yeah,
So Budweiser sells 0.0 beer, but they will not sell it to us
without a liquor license.
It's
Are you serious?
Because there's an old law in Iowa that says something about that. I'm going to do some more digging in that and try to find that old law and see. But yes, we can't even order zero beer without a liquor's license.
But I can order it at my bar with a liquor license and then sell it at my non-alcoholic bar.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
No.
But have you found any IPA non-alcoholic beers?
Hairless Dog carries one.
Mm-hmm.
Who is it?
Hairless Dog.
Yeah, there's another Brewdog brewing company that I'm thinking of, but it's not. I haven't had the Hairless Dog IPA, but I've had a lot of IPAs here in Europe. They have alcohol free, and they're really taste like they're got alcohol in it.
We have Bitburger that's 0.02, and that one
That's from Germany, and that one's pretty good too. Yeah.
And so the Hairless Dog has a black ale, a Citra lager, and then they have an IPA
And a coffee stout.
So I know where I'm going to hang out and try all that when I come to Palmer.
Hey, we would love to be able to private label Unimpaired with one of those with a 0.0 beer. That's something else that is in the works.
When I lived in Bettendorf, I made my own beer.
You did?
That would have been perfect.
Would have been.
But now I might just have to make some non-alcoholic beer here, and I'll ship it over, and you can put the label on it.
Please do. So Front Street Brewery is just right down the street from us here, and they do make us all of our house seltzers. Mm-hmm. So we have a pear seltzer for our Unimpaired mojito, and they're delicious.
I think I saw a menu of yours, and you have some really funny, creative names for your drinks.
Yeah, we got some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Well, that's the best part is we've both been in the industry for so long and making drinks. I love it. We do it in the summertime with our girls, just mixing up different non-alcoholic drinks. And so we literally get to do that all day here. It's so fun. And ones that are good for you and healthy. We have kombucha on draft, good for your gut health, filled with antioxidants and,
wow.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
And after our call, I have another idea that maybe it's something to share for future business that I've had a long time ago, and you guys might be the two people that would help us. But then we have to move to Las Vegas.
I love
She
Las
likes
Vegas.
Vegas, so that'd be fine.
Can I tell you a drunk story really quick?
Oh,
Yeah, of
gosh.
course. Do you want it recorded?
Yeah, that's fine. But speaking of Las Vegas, growing up, my dear friend Megan and I, we went to Vegas. We were in our early 20s, and it's one of those what did you call them? Time warps.
Time travel.
Time travel. So I time traveled when I was in Las Vegas, and I woke up the next morning, and Megan goes to the bathroom, comes back out, and she goes, "You'll never believe it." She said, "I have a tattoo on my butt cheek." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Okay, so come to find out, we both have tattoos on our butt cheeks, and they read, "Viva Las Vegas."
They're really, really
forevermore on our left butt cheeks.
Oh,
She's telling the truth.
that's some fun time travel.
Wow. That's some good time travel. Some serious time travel.
But I'm glad to be able, at this point, to be able to laugh back at some of the dumb stuff that I've done.
Yeah.
In my life. Hopefully other people can too, because it takes a while to get to that point where you can almost forgive yourself for some of your actions.
Yeah, that's one thing that's difficult for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
For myself included, because every time I look back at certain things from my past too, as well as I wasn't perfect, and living as a bartender full time before I went to chiropractic school and stuff, and you look back and you're like, wish I would have done it this way or that way. But now in my work in the chiropractic world and with what I'm doing now, everything that's happened before was a gift for now. And so you can't look back and say, and regret it anymore, because that's just going to punish yourself now. And my brother told me the other day, guilt is a choice.
Yes. Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
So don't choose to be guilty if
I
it's
think
done.
you can make amends in your everyday living. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're living a good life, I feel like some of that stuff, as long as you're proving you're living example of living amend for doing better. I don't think it'd be hard on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely not. And then if you fail, get right back up and try again the next day, because that's what really matters.
Absolutely. You need to put those words of wisdom all over your walls.
Yeah, just not on my butt cheeks though, right?
Man, I think we could.
Show you guys something, since you said that, right on our walls. I would love to show you something.
Sure.
Actually, I'm gonna take you into the bathroom.
Oh, great.
So we are at Unimpaired right now, and we have the most beautiful women's bathroom you ever seen in your whole entire life. So.
Well, I can say now that I was in the Unimpaired women's bathroom tonight.
So right here, this is the back wall. Sober looks sexy on you. So it is written backwards. So that way, when you take a picture in the mirror, it's forwards.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a little bit opposite for you guys now on Zoom, but normally, yeah.
No, but you did it good. That's a great idea.
So we wrote up here, how will you be remembered? And we put markers in the bathroom, and we have literally let them draw all over the walls on how they will be remembered. And these women write the most beautiful things that you could even imagine. I mean, just all filled with positive things, just building each other up. Literally, women just writing beautiful, wonderful things to build each other up. It's so cool.
I think,
a wonderful mother. I mean, you are loved. You are the one that wakes up in the morning. Put yourself to sleep at night. Do what makes you happy, and don't ever think twice. Just some of these positive motivational things that we have. Just every day when we come in here, it's just more and more exciting.
And so what do you have for the men?
Okay, I'll take you in there. You guys got a better selfie mirror, that's for sure.
We have what?
A better selfie mirror.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay, it's a little boring in here, but we do have the same thing. Find a way, not an excuse. That would be backwards in the mirror. And then, of course, we got wash your hands, you filthy animal. Boring though. Kind of boring. But isn't that neat though? All of the things, all of the positive things that those women are writing.
Wow, I'm really think it's really cool what you guys are doing. So thank you for being you and doing this. This is quite a cool thing. Tamara, I think unless you have any other questions, we're going to go and I'm going to do a quick, normally we do a controversial topic on our show and we discuss it. Normally I pick one out of a hat, but in today's situation, it's as if, you know, thinking of it, what's a current controversy that you guys are dealing with over in the United States right now?
I'm trying to think of. Oh God, I don't know.
I think one of the things is the people that do tend to drink heavily, they almost want to mock the idea of this and laugh at it.
That does happen sometimes.
A little bit an ongoing thing. From what I have seen in the establishment, I haven't received any negative feedback in any other way, but that's the only thing that I can see. Like they'll come in, you know, and just, or on social media land, they just can't understand the concept, and so they're negative about it.
That can happen, but that can happen with.
You guys have had like haters a little bit.
Once in a not too
haters,
many,
but
not
more
too
like
many.
just mocking. You know what I'm saying? Like laughing at the idea, not hating, just laughing. Like you guys are crazy. That's never gonna work.
Yeah. So you know what that does? That lights a fire under our ass. I love it.
It's just because they can't imagine themselves being able to enjoy life or being able to go out and enjoy themselves without it. And so I mean, you probably would have felt the same way before.
You're right.
You came up with the concept. I mean, that's absurd. Have a party, go out, do something without alcohol.
Yeah, that doesn't
forget
make
that.
sense. Why do you want a bar that doesn't serve alcohol? You know what I mean?
Right.
It makes sense. I think the craziest thing is when you subtract alcohol out of your life, then you sit there and you really have to get to know yourself. Then you don't even get to hide behind anything for yourself. You're filled with your feelings and you get to learn to love yourself. And I think it's pretty fun.
That's difficult sober, let alone, you know, it's a difficult thing for people to do, is to honestly look at themselves. And it's much easier to hide behind alcohol or hide behind making fun of somebody else, or a lot of things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's.
Did you find something for us to? Did you find something?
Well, going through the list that I have left, we've already went over most of them on the other episodes, and I'm thinking we have to come up with either with another or, if you want to talk about big pharmaceutical industry.
Yeah.
We can do that.
That's something good. Man.
Well, that's like a 3 or 4 hour conversation.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'm not one for public controversy, so I'm going to let Amber take over on this. I don't like
No, I think we're going to keep it soft, because right now we've talked a lot about things, and even like being sober in the world now is controversial.
Extremely.
And so I think we don't need to go into any other things regarding controversy for the show.
Right.
Just want to thank you guys for what you're doing. And I want to keep us updated how things are going. So then when we start growing, you start growing, then we can maybe provide resources for you to grow even further and faster.
That would be
So
amazing.
I think I have some friends in the US, in pretty much all over the country. So I can probably help hook you up with the right contacts as well to see if we can make this franchisable and
That'd
maybe
be awesome.
make it faster.
Yes. That would be
If you go to Atlanta, boy, I'd love to. Or when you're ready to expand to Atlanta.
Amber's already got that Southern voice going for her. Amber's already got that Southern Belle voice.
Yeah.
Have you lived in the South before?
No, Phoenix. So
because
I don't know.
you sound like you come like a Southern Belle.
Well, I think that's a bluegrass thing.
It might be.
I think we all are we're our own little world.
Yep, we are.
I used to live in Nashville, so it's fun.
I love Nashville.
It's fun.
How wonderful. Music every day, just positivity. I love Nashville.
Yeah, that was a fun city. That was fun to live in. Okay, so we're going to end the show, and we just want to thank everybody, and thank you guys, Amber and Seanteelle, for coming on and talking with us and sharing everybody. Send me later the links to that
Shine On
to the Shine On Quad Cities. I'll send over the video to my IT guy. He's going to get it updated, and then I'll send you the link to the YouTube recording, and this will also be on iTunes.
That's awesome.
I think it's appropriate for iTunes. I think I might have said one swear word.
We said butt cheeks a couple times.
And butt cheeks, I think, is okay. Okay, so what we always say to our listeners when we sign off is stay relaxed, everybody. So everybody stay relaxed, stay safe.
I'm relaxed.